Hey guys! Today in this little mini lesson, I'm just going to go over what is due on September 10th, and that is your post Project 1 reflection. So if you go into Blackboard here and then you click under week 4, and then you scroll down and you'll see assignment post Project 1 reflection. So overall, this is a 500 to 750 word written assignment. And the main goal of the assignment is just to get you to reflect on what it is that you have applied from earlier in this class to writing this multimodal project. So specifically, that is, remember that portfolio that we did earlier in this semester with the habits of mind and the WPA outcomes? That is what you'll be referring to for majority throughout this assignment here. So, for example, number 1 up here says, review your invention work, the peer reviews you completed, and the feedback you received. Then review your pre-course reflection as well as the WPA outcomes and the habits of mind. So you're supposed to discuss which of the outcomes you drew on to successfully complete your project. You should address 2 to 3 bullet points under each section of WPA outcomes. And it says right here, that is rhetorical knowledge, critical thinking, reading and composing, process, and knowledge of a convention. So that means just to go into your portfolio and look under what you have written there under the WPA outcomes and see, okay, what did I use here that applied to my project? An obvious one here could be knowledge of conventions, that you use that for pretty obvious reasons, just to help you write out the thing and have not many grammatical errors. Another one could be critical thinking, reading, and composing. So how did you apply what you read throughout in your sources and how you gathered that information and you took it to the next level and you applied that to your actual project? Like you took quotes, you analyzed them, etc. Number 3 talks about how did you achieve each of those bulleted sections under the WPA outcomes. Like how did you take those and make them meaningful and beneficial to your paper? Now, the key thing here that this little excerpt is going to say a lot is provide specific examples from your written work completed in this class to date as evidence to support your learning claims. For instance, from excerpts from your rough drafts and final drafts of projects, example from your invention work and discussion board posts, or feedback from your instructor, for me, or your peers. So the big thing throughout this assignment is just to support what you have to say. Just like in Project 1, how we had to, or you had to explain and support everything that you're saying, the same thing applies here. If you say that you used rhetorical, or if you used critical thinking, reading, and composing really well in your project, explain how you did that. Was your rough draft lacking that, and then your final draft you had that a lot? Did you have peers that pointed that out to you? If so, put that information in there. What I mean is you can include screenshots of the discussion board post. You can copy and paste peers information in there. You can quote what I told you during our Adobe Connect workshop if that would happen, if Jesse gave you any feedback, and so on. So after you do that, explain how the habits of mind impacted your writerly growth during the Project 1 process. So which habit specifically helps you out of the habits of mind that are listed on your portfolio? And again, it's in bold here. Provide specific examples from your written work done in the class to provide evidence to support your claims. Then lastly, this is probably the most important part of this, is how have you applied or transferred what you have gained in these areas of learning to the real world? So what I mean by real world is your professional life, your personal life, something like that. So they gave you some examples here. You could say written or multimedia work in other courses, writing you do for fun, anything you do for your community, like a letter to your council board or something like that, and just discuss how you have taken what you have learned here to the real world and make it better. So, as a reminder, this is supposed to be 500 to 750 words. It is due September 10th, and if you guys have any questions, as always, go ahead and email me.